SC Fan Sports, the sports show that is dedicated to the Seattle sports fan. I'm Dave. This is Kevin. Kevin, how are you doing on this fine Sunday afternoon?
Another beautiful day in the Pacific Northwest, or in the Northwest in general. So
excellent. Yeah. Kevin, I think we need to, with the word of our Sunday is going to be future. And Kevin, I don't know if our future looked so bright today.
No.
We had two players in the future game.
Mm-hmm.
We had a catcher called up, Cal Raleigh, who you've been calling for a while.
Yep.
For a hot minute.
I'm still excited about him.
And it was not good going into the All-Star break. You know, the week that was a little shaky as far as the major team goes, and the future did not look particularly right. As well as on top of all of that, as far as we want to use our key word of the day as being future, also we drafted a catcher today as well.
Yes, we did.
So before we get into all that, though, let's start off with a little bit of making sure that you guys are subscribing, making sure that you guys are hitting the notification bell, leaving thumbs up, leaving comments. Kevin White likes the thumbs up.
I do.
Not a big fan of the thumbs down, but you know, that's fine. Most of the thumbs downs are for me, and I take those in stride. Kevin is always thumbs up for him. So anyway, getting back to the future that we experienced. Kevin, why don't you give us the line on Cal Raleigh? Let's start with Cal Raleigh first off the bat.
Well,
off the bat. He didn't get that very good.
Off the bat. Anyway, he was 0 for 4 today, 2 Ks, and then he had a pass ball behind the plate that scored a run. So not a great day to start off with, but I'm not worried about him. The kid's hitting every level.
You know what, though, Kevin? Suzuki had a pass ball today as well, and he's been doing this for a long time.
Yep.
So the catcher's position is not easy. He was working with a bunch of bullpen guys, so it's probably hard to call that game and get into a flow. Again, the Montero reared his ugly head again today. I'm not saying the man's ugly. I'm just saying that the pitching that we've seen out of Montero, I just don't know whether we send him. We can't send him down. He's out of options. But we bench him or DFA. I don't know. I mean, this guy's has been a quality pitcher for a long time, and there's just something wrong in his head. And I don't mean to take a sidetrack because we're talking about the future, even though he's supposed to be a future piece of our bullpen. Let's get into the week that was. But let's start out with the Yankees series, which they took two or three from us. You know, any highlights as far as the Yankees series other than us getting the win? Or
well, I think that the last game with Logan Gilbert on the mound, he threw 7 innings, 1 hit, no runs, no walks, and 8 strikeouts. It was just an absolutely electric game by Logan Gilbert.
So if we want to use the word future,
he is.
Can we use future ace? Do we dare say the word ace?
He definitely front end of the rotation.
You just will not give him that ace title, will you?
You
are just. Kevin's like, no ace for you.
No, I just don't. I don't know if that's his projection or just the front end of the rotation. So,
Kevin, that line is ace line.
That line.
I'm sorry.
Yes.
And he has worked his way up to that ace line.
He's still young. So.
Oh, yeah.
Who knows what's going to happen? I'm not going to throw ace at him yet, but he is a front end rotation guy.
Kevin, if we're going to crown him, we're going to crown him.
No, I'm not crowning anybody.
Anyway, all right. So then, so we took that was a third game of that Yankee series. We pulled out, so we were able to fend off the Brooms. Then we opened up a 3-game set with the California Angels of Anaheim, and the first 2 games, man, we looked steady. Oh,
well, the first game was a little tricky because Marco still is not looking like Marco. If it wasn't for Mitch hitting the grand slam, we might have lost that game. I mean, it was a tie in the 7th inning, but Mitch came in the 8th and hit that grand slam, which won the game.
He gave us 3 hits, Kevin. I mean, he gave up 3 runs.
He did, and it was a lot better than he has been, but it's still. I'm used to Marco being lights out.
Okay, well, I thought we already established though that he's not a blow by you pitcher, Kevin.
He's not. He's a finesse pitcher. Yes.
Yeah. So I mean, finesse pitchers are gonna get hit.
Yeah. I mean, speaking of finesse guys, steady flexing.
Steady. All right.
He pitched on the 10th, which was Friday.
Yeah.
Or yesterday. Sorry.
No, that would have been Saturday. Yeah.
7 innings, 3 hits, 2 walks with 6 strikeouts. Another great performance by Flexen this year.
And if you ask me, Kevin, that's a top of the rotation guy, not ace material. I think that there's a huge difference as far as Gilbert and Flexen goes. I think steady Flexen, who I love dearly, I have a lot of love for him, but I still don't think he is a ace of your staff. He's an important piece.
No, so
but not an ace.
I agree with you. Flexen is basically a innings eater and back into the rotation, a solid pitcher.
You're throwing him in the back end.
He's steady Eddie. I mean, that's why we call him Steady Flexen. I mean, he's solid. You got a guy like YK, Kikuchi, and I think that he's kind of an, the front end of the rotation guy too when he's on, but he's still, not always consistent.
No.
So I put him and Logan Gilbert together. I do not put them in the ace category as of yet. Logan Gilbert could be maybe in the future.
All right.
You want to use that word? He could be an ace in the future. I don't know, but
folks, if you think that he is an ace in the staff, you think Logan has got ace written all over him, I don't care if it's a diamond, I don't care if it's a spade, I don't care if it's a club, I don't even care if it is a heart. I think he's an ace. Kevin does not. If you agree with Kevin, leave a comment down below that you don't think he's quite good at got the ace stuff. If you think he's an ace like I do, let me know. Tell me all about it. And then today, Kevin, we had the bullpen come in. I pretty much got the whole array of the bullpen. Some good, some bad, some ugly. We dropped a 7-1. And our bats really weren't there today either. I mean, that's been the story. Either we're feast or famine a little bit here, especially, in the last few games.
Well, the star of the game was David Fletcher, who's not even with the Mariners. So, drove in 4 runs.
So, Kevin, we finished up the bullpen session. We lost 7-1, but we did have some excitement today. We drafted a kid in the first round, number 12 pick. Why don't you tell us a little bit about our new catcher that we have going into probably to Modesto next year? Yeah,
his name's Harry Ford, catcher out of North Cobb High School in Georgia. 5'10", 200 pounds, bats and throws right-handed.
Okay.
He has some impressive scouting grades.
Tell us about it, Kevin.
Well, he has a 50 hit grade, a 50 power grade, 60 run grade.
Wow.
55 in field grade and 55 in arm grade for an overall of 55. That is very impressive for an 18-year-old kid at a high school.
So he's got some impressive. So Kevin, anything else on our new catcher?
The scouts are saying he's got extremely fast hands and he has very impressive bat speed, which is a good sign on hitting.
Yeah.
His from home plate to second base, he's been clocked at 85 miles an hour on his throw. And then in his 60-yard dash, he has a 6.42 second time.
Now, Kevin is so at the beginning of the season, you and I were pretty much talking that catcher position is a small bit of a weakness in our farm system. So it looks like they went out in a draft. I know you're going to come up with Cal Raleigh and you're going to come up with O'Keefe.
I mean, we could talk about Carter Benz.
Right.
You know, O'Keefe. We can talk about Raleigh. Yeah, I think we do have a solid catching, but this guy he could bypass them all.
Really?
He has the tools.
Well, have we looked at any further projections on what they're looking at as far as second and third? And I know there's like, how many rounds is there in the Major League draft?
This year's less than normal because of COVID last year.
COVID, okay.
I don't know exactly how many numbers. I know tomorrow is, I think, 2nd through 7th round tomorrow. And
Okay.
it goes from there. They keep talking about, and this reason they picked the high school guy is they've always gone after those quality players that could come through the system fast.
Right.
Currently, this year, they're really going after athletic people with huge upsides is what they're targeting. I mean, are they still going to take the best player available? Yeah, but they're willing to take more risks this year going after high ceiling guys. Let's put it that way.
Well, because we've already got a pretty full farm system. So now it's time to stock the shelves.
Yes.
All right. Okay. I could get behind that. All right. Well, speaking of stocking the shelves, Kevin, why don't we figure out what's already in the store? Let's head the trip through the minors. How's that sound?
We'll move down to Tacoma.
All right.
They were 4-2 this week. They're in the process in the middle of a doubleheader. They won the first game of the doubleheader.
All right.
They are currently in 2nd place in their division with 30 wins and 25 losses, 4.5 games out of first place.
Okay.
Kelnick, though, I needed to talk about Jared Kelnick for a minute.
Okay. Besides him going 0 for 1 in the future game, is there a little bit other? Okay. What else do we have on him?
Well, he played 3 games this week. That was it.
Oh, wow.
He went 2 for 4, 4 for 5, and 1 for 3, 4 runs, 3 RBIs, 2 walks, and 3 extra bases with a home run.
Okay.
He went 7 for 12 with a .583 batting average this week.
Why did he only play in 3 games, Kevin?
I think he was just getting ready for the All-Star.
Okay. I can understand that. All right.
So yeah, it was pretty impressive. So that was
anything else that stood out for me in Tacoma?
No, not at all.
Okay. All right. Well, let's head down to Arkansas. Today we're taking a flight. It's going to be a 2-stopper, and we're going to land down in Arkansas. Tell us what's going on down in the Traveler land, Kevin.
They went 5-2 last week, 2nd place in their division. So they moved up from 3rd to 2nd.
All right.
But the interesting thing is they're only half a game out of first place now.
Oh, hey, we're making a move.
They're making a move. 32 wins, 27 losses. Julio Rodriguez is batting .303 since he got to Arkansas. Although this past week he went 4 for 16 with a .250 batting average, and then he did what he did today for the futures game.
Okay.
And Brian O'Keefe, his batting average is now at .286, so he's
cooling off a little bit, huh?
He's cooling off a little bit.
All right. Okay.
And that's pretty much it. Brian Williamson, who went from Everett to Arkansas, he's now lost his 2nd game in a row, so not a lot to talk about.
Okay. But we moved up, and we're only a half game out of the standings. So,
yes.
So we were doing a little bit of good down there. All right, yes. Kevin, let's head back up to our Everett. Tell me a little bit about the Aqua Sox.
Well, the Aqua Sox are 5-1 this week. They are solidly in first place.
All right.
38-19.
Okay.
They still have the top 3 rated batters now. One fell off a little bit, but the 3 top batters in the league: Patrick Frick, shortstop, .309 batting average; Zach Deloge, outfielder, .297 batting average; and Jack Larson, another outfielder, at .293. Top 3 guys in the league.
Wow.
And then George Kirby last week pitched actually yesterday again, 7 innings, 4 hits, 1 run, 1 walk, 11 strikeouts, and lowered his ERA to a .256 ERA. So for George.
Don't think we're going to see George in Single A very much longer.
I don't think we're going to see either one of those guys, Emerson Hancock or George Kirby, in Single A very much longer. No.
So if you want to see them, get out to the ballpark as soon as possible, because I have a feeling that they're going to be moving somewhere, whether it be Arkansas or straight up to Tacoma or heck, right even to the big league team. I don't know. After watching that bullpen session today, I think George Kirby would have looked a little bit better out there than some of the relievers we ran out there.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, Kevin. So now let's head down to Northern California and tell me a little bit about these.
Well, the Nuts were 4-2 last week.
Okay.
They're currently third in their division, 3 games out, so they've improved.
Okay.
They're at 35-24.
How's Novell doing?
He's okay. He's batting under 300. He's got like a 290 batting average. Cade Marlowe, an outfielder, is batting 301. Now, I did want to mention that they finished their win streak. They ended up losing last week.
Okay.
But they won 10 games in a row before they had their first the loss. So good for the Nuts, and that is it for the farm system.
There we go. So the future looks good.
It's promising. In my opinion, I think we got a lot of pieces. Norvell Marte is struggling right now. His bat's cooled off a little bit, but the guy is just outstanding. We got 5 pitchers in our minor league system that are not going to be down very long.
Right.
Maybe another year, but probably we might even see some of them next year.
Oh, wow. Good.
I think we just got a lot of good quality players and pitchers in our system, and I think we're stocked for a couple of years.
All right, Kevin, I got a question before we head off here. Yep. Something we haven't asked in a couple of weeks. Are we buyers, sellers, or extenders, Kevin? Talk to me.
We, in my opinion, are 100% buyers.
Ooh, okay. I've heard the name Nelson Cruz bantied around. I've heard some Cubs right now that they're looking to move on from. Is there any particular player that you think that we might be buying or interested in?
Well, Nelson would always look good in the Mariners uniform, in my opinion.
Yeah, he does not look good in the Twin uniform. It's just the vertical stripes. It's just bleh.
Yeah. I do like Nelson Cruz. I'd like to see him, maybe finish out the year here. I don't know what would happen after this year, but we need a solid thumper in the middle of our lineup, and we don't have it.
He is solid, and he is a thumper.
I would like us to go after a starting pitcher. I can't think of the guy's name right now, but the kid out of Texas that really impressed me when we played him this couple weeks ago. He just shut the Mariners down, and he's just been solid. There's also a guy out of Colorado that's just been lights out this year.
The GM for Colorado came out and said he's not on the block at all.
Yeah. So
put that pipe dream away.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. You asked me what I want. I'd like a starting pitcher, and I'd like a thumper.
Okay. Well, Kevin is heavy on the buying side. We're not even saying Mitch Haniger's name anymore, other than hopefully he can get him extended. Again, we want Service extended. We want Dipoto extended. So we've got a lot of extending going on around here. But that's going to do it for Mariner Weekly. Yep. I'm Dave. This is Kevin. You guys have a wonderful, wonderful week. We'll see you next Sunday.
Enjoy the All-Star break.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.